Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys on my channel guys. And yes guys, it's that time of season yet again guys where we are going to be predicting the 24-25 Premier League predictions guys. I'm going to be going from the relegation zone to the top guys. Before I start today's video guys, I want you guys in the comment section below, comment your top four, who's getting relegated and who will be the first manager sacked as well. Get that in the comment section below, get them all in. I'm interested. This season is going to be an interesting one yet again. For Manchester United though, when I get onto Manchester United, you know what's coming. Big expectations for Manchester United this season. We need to have a better one this season. I'm signing off YouTube channel after this season as well. I need to go out with a bang. I need to get a couple of trophies in this season as well. But anyway guys, let's get straight into today's video. Firstly, I'm going to be predicting in the relegation zone. Coming 20th for me, I've gone with Ipswich Town. Sorry, Ipswich fans. Just don't think you've got enough to stay up in the Premier League next season. Actually, you took our guy, Erik McKenna. What a great job he's done at Ipswich so far. Promoted you twice from the League One to the Championship, from the Championship to the Premier League. I've seen it all, to be honest. I've seen teams come from the Championship and struggle, not have the experience. They're just going to struggle, Ipswich. They're a great team. You can see that on paper that they're really good. You can see that they've got a very good manager that's had a lot of trust, been backed a lot as well. Erik McKenna as well. Great manager and he's done a fantastic job. At the end of the day though, Ipswich, I just don't think they've got the players to keep them up. At the end of the day, I've signed Liam Delap from Man City. A lot's going to be on him to go and score the goals as well. Gone and signed Amari Hutchinson. Heard some good things about him as a good player. Coming from Chelsea as well. Just signing Calvin Phillips on a loan that's just been confirmed tonight, Thursday, just before Premier League kicks off. All teams can yet to strengthen their teams. Obviously, the transfer window does not close till the 30th of August. So teams can still strengthen their teams. There's not long to go now in the transfer window. Ipswich have also signed another heap of players. 6 other players. They've got a new goalkeeper in from Burnley as well. Just don't think Ipswich are going to have enough, unfortunately. Coming 19th, I've gone with Leicester City. Now, obviously, Leicester City, I think a lot of people are going to tip Leicester City to go down. I think the signings don't inspire me. Obviously, Leicester City, years ago, it went from winning the league to going back to the Championship, and that's just football at the end of the day. They obviously had a tough season 2 years ago. I just don't think Leicester City are going to have enough. Obviously, got a new manager in, Steve Cooper. Enzo Maresca's gone to Chelsea now. Steve Cooper, I think, did a good job. Sort of his job was a bit rough towards the end of his time at Nottingham Forest. Struggled to get some results as well, but nice to see him get back in a job. But Leicester City, not inspired by their signings, to be honest. Obviously, they've lost Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Not really replaced him, though. We can still replace him, though, with 2 weeks to go, I think, now of the window. But they have signed Bobby Decova-Reid from Fulham, loaned out Facundo Bonanotte as well. They've got a couple of wingers, but they've just not got a defensive midfielder that they really need. They need a replacement for Kieran Dewsbury Hall, and it needs to come fast. Coming 18th and going down as well with Leicester and Ipswich, I think it's Nottingham Forest. I think this is it now for Nottingham Forest. To be honest, Nottingham, fresh season, into the season, maybe they could kick on and better improve, develop the squad. Forest, not for me. Forest were very underwhelming last season. Started off with Steve Cooper. He got sacked December time. Nuno Espirito Santo came in as well. Thought Nuno Espirito Santo did a very good job at Wolves. I just think he didn't do a great job at Tottenham. That came crashing down after 3 months. At the end of the day though, Forest, yet again, not inspired by their signings, to be honest. Elliot, Anderson, they lost some midfielders, but how do you think some of these teams move on some of these players? Because sometimes they're not good enough. So give them time as well. Obviously signed Kalai. Milenkovic also got a new goalkeeper in. Carlos Miguel as well. Obviously, Espirito Santo cannot rely. Keepers, the first there. They signed Matt Sells, Matt Turner that was there in from Arsenal. These goalkeepers have not been great at Forest, and they've got a 6'8" new goalkeeper. Came in from South America as well. So you can only but see what happens and give them time and where it could go. They brought in a couple of more signings, but just again, not inspired by their signings. Sorry, Forest, I think you're going down to the Championship. I think your time's up in the Premier League. 17th, I've gone with Everton. I've gone with Everton because I think they've been lingering around the relegation zone and flirting with it the last couple of years. Everton have that fight, in the fight of relegation as well. So managed to get themselves out of it the last couple of times. Everton, they've done okay. They've they've tried to strengthen the squad along the way. They've signed Iliman Adai from, it was Marseille. They've also got Justin Lindstrom, saw a good free kick from him in pre-season as well. Obviously got Jake O'Brien as well to go alongside of Brathwaite. Still rumours that Jared Brathwaite could come to Manchester United. Who knows? Maybe that might happen next summer. So I think they really need to keep hold of Jared Brathwaite this season as well. But obviously the big one was lost Amadou Onana, big player that they've lost, done why they've not placed him to replace him thick and fast, and they've obviously lost Ben Goffrey. Is Jake O'Brien placement for Goffrey, or is that placement for Jared Brathwaite, who could pretty much still leave at the end of the day? So Everton, I think, will just have enough to stay up. Coming 16th, I've gone with Southampton. Now, mate, Southampton fan, he's going to be watching this. The reason why I've gone with Southampton is because I think there's always sometimes a surprise team that does well. I've been to a Saints game before. It was last season, FA Cup game. I can sort of see what Russell Martin's trying to do. I think he's a very good manager. Gets a lot of praise from their fans, and I think he deserves that praise because I think he's done a fantastic job so far at Southampton. Last season in the Championship, I think they went on a 35 unbeaten run for competition, so they did well. Southampton have done well. Obviously, promotion places came up as well, but they did a brilliant job doing that last season as well, and up into the Premier League was their target, and they reached that target as well. So well on to Southampton of coming up. It's all about, can you stay in the Premier League? I think they will. I think they'll just have enough to stay up. I think they've brought in some better signings from the other two teams that have come up as well. Finn Downs, a brilliant player in their team for the majority of last season, who was on loan from West Ham. Someone that replaced James Ward-Prowse, great player as well. He pretty much transformed their midfield last season as well. Also signed Ronnie Edwards, signed Nathan Wood. They had to bring in 2 new centre-backs, sold 2 centre-backs as well. Obviously they've got Ben Brighton-Diaz as well. I think it's a big season for Adam Armstrong as well. So those strikers have worked with each other at Blackburn. Now they're doing it at Southampton. So Adam Armstrong needs to have a big season. So does Ben Brighton-Diaz. I think they can pull the goals, try and make St Mary's a fortress, make it tough for teams to go there. Southampton will do okay. I think they'll just have enough to stay up. Good luck to them as well next season. 15th, I've gone with Fulham because I think lost a couple of players. The big one is João Palhinha. He's pretty much gone off to Bayern Munich. Obviously they've lost Tosin Adebayo to Chelsea, Ream as well. They've not replaced João Palhinha, and that's going to be a big loss for them, I think, the upcoming season. Fulham though, I think they've done okay. Yes, they brought in 1 centre back, but they need to bring in another centre back as well. At the end of the day, I think they should do okay. Marco Silva's a good manager. He knows what he's doing. Have a bit of a fight with relegation. They need to get a replacement in for João Palhinha as soon as they can, get that over the line, and then maybe they could try and finish a little bit higher up. But I think they'll do okay. They've obviously signed the likes of Ryan Sessegnon, who's now back at the club. Emile Smith-Rowe has done well on pre-season as well. I think he scored about 2 or 3 goals, so looks bright, looks good. Academy product that had to leave. Arsenal as well. They've also brought in a new centre-back, George Konenka, if that's how you say his name. He should do okay. Fulham might have an okay season next year for sure. Going 14th, I've gone with Brentford because season I think they were very unfortunate of losing Ivan Toney with his 8-month ban due to his betting ban and a heap of injuries. Just need to sort of press the reset button and go again. Brentford, they need to have a better season. Last season didn't really build on their confidence and their momentum when they kept winning games, losing it, and it was all about how can we find ways of beating these teams and how can we keep our confidence going. I think they really found it hard to sort of really develop and improve their team last season when they had a heap of injuries out, and also this is it, you have to keep players fit for the majority of the season as well. So they'll do okay, Brentford, and a new striker in Igor Thiago. If they can try and keep hold of Evan Toney as well, I think they could do well this season. With Fabio Carvalho also signed from Liverpool, I think they can have a good season. 14th will be just about right for Brentford, I reckon. Hope I can get this prediction right. I'm 13th, and this I could be wrong, to be honest with you, with Wolves. I think because I think they have a lot of faith in Gary O'Neill. I think Gary O'Neill's a good manager. Went from Bournemouth to Wolves and came in as a late replacement. The new manager late last year got rid of Julian Lopetegui. Wolves, I don't know how this could go down because they have lost 2 good players. It meant a lot to them as well. I don't know how this could go for Wolves. They could do really good or really bad, or they could be in a relegation fight. So I don't know how this is going to go down for Wolves this season. I just don't know how it's going to go. It's just one of them where I need to try and predict Wolves and hope they can finish 13th, and if they don't, I'm going to get this drastically wrong. So Wolves, I think they should do okay. I think that they should do enough. Wangi Chan and Joe Neto, they really struggled last season. That was where the inconsistency sort of crept in for them. See, they've lost Pedro Neto, that's gone off to Chelsea, and they've lost Kilman, that's gone off to West Ham. We struggle a little bit as well. I've signed Tommy Doyle, I've signed Rodrigo Gomez and George Strand-Larsen as well, loan. So not inspired by the signings that they've signed. To see how it goes for Wolves next season as well. Coming 12th, I've gone with Bournemouth. Now could be another one where it could go really bad or really wrong. I think Bournemouth, they've got some good players. They've got a lot of talented players in that squad, and I think they sort of did well. When United went to Bournemouth last year, we just went in the wrong mentality. Found it hard to go there and win. I think Bournemouth, great players, like Justin Kluivert there, and it looked promising. Bournemouth, they want to make their team stronger. A big one is that they've lost Dominic Solanke, that's gone off to Tottenham, so I think they could be really affected by that. Made a fee with Porto over a new striker. Vallison, if that's how I say his name, scored 17 goals last year. He got about 13 in the league, and he scored about 4 in the Champions League or whatever competition they were in last year. They've also signed Julian Arjau as well. So I think they should do okay. Obviously, they made Sinistera and Ronaldo transfers permanent. They can have a good season. They can really push on, but could go really well for Bournemouth. Could do good. Could go really bad for Bournemouth as well, because you don't know. At the end of the day, could second syndrome season creep in? Let's see. Coming 11th, I've got Crystal Palace. Now, obviously, Crystal Palace had a great end to the season last year. Oliver Gleisner, strong end to the season. One of them was being me saying that the squad that they've got now, they could really push on. Obviously, now they've lost Ise, gone off to Bayern Munich. Potentially that's Mark Guehi to Newcastle. They've slapped a 65 million price tag on that. I think Crystal Palace, I think they'll do okay. I don't think challenge for any Europe places or anything like that. I think Oliver Gleisner has got the tools there. He's got some great players to work with. It'll be important to keep Beche Eze, Mateta as well. Hakuna Mateta, as they say. You need to try and keep hold of those two players. Strengthen the squad. Obviously, they had to replace Elise. They brought in Ismail Assar, who was at Lyon Marseille after a year out there. Also brought in Dacini, Kamada as well. He played with Oliver Gleisner before. You can trust in him. Palace could do well. And Morton in there in the midfield. I think they could have a good season for sure. I think at times it could get a bit bumpy. I think every team's going to always have a bit of a bad spell. I don't think Palace have an amazing season. I think they'll definitely learn their lessons from last year. Better manager that's more attacking minded. I think they can really try and go for it, but I think the players might get a little bit worn out, a bit tired, maybe towards the end of the season. Let's see how it all goes for Palace. Coming 10th, I've gone with Brighton. Now, obviously, Brighton, a new manager, got rid of Roberto De Zerbi, brought in Fabian Hürzeler as well, if that's how you say his name. American-born from Germany. He's the youngest manager in the Premier League. Another manager that could maybe do well, maybe in the Premier League. It's Brighton where they're going to be going through another transitional period. Like some players he'll want to keep on, and he'll want to move on some players as well. I think they'll do okay. I don't think they'll have a bad season. I think it'll be mid-table. Obviously, this time last year they had the league. I think they really struggled. Didn't have the squad depth, struggled with injuries. They'll have one game a week, so really focus on that this season. They've done okay in the transfer window. I don't think it's been an absolute outstanding one. They'll do okay, Brighton. I think 10th. Brighton fans should be happy with 10th. I don't think they'll have the tools to push on for Europe. I think to be given time, and I think maybe they need another couple of years yet to make into Europe, see how it goes there. They have brought in Yakamba Mitter, coming from Newcastle. They brought in Swafer as well. See, they let Pascal Gross go. Player that's moved on as well. It's gone off to Borussia Dortmund as well. So just need to try and keep hold of their key players, know much about their manager. So really just give him time. Let's see how it goes season as well for Brighton. In live, controversially, I've gone with Chelsea. To be honest, I'm not convinced by their new manager, Enzo Maresca. I don't think he's the right man for this job. The board have got this wrong. Pochettino did well at the back end of last season, had a strong end to the season, and they sacked him. I don't know what they're bloody thinking, to be honest with you. That's Win Stanley and the other guy on the board that have decided to go with Enzo Maresca. This is a big move up for Enzo Maresca, because from Leicester City, it's a big step up for Enzo Maresca, so he's got to step up. The players have got to step up as well. Don't understand their business. I really don't understand their business. And where you just say to your owner, right, one of them where I don't think all of these moves are not involving the manager's decisions. I think these players are not manager's players that he wants. The manager always should have the power of what player he wants. What they're doing is they're just letting their owner go out there. We'll get this player for this price. We'll get this player for this price. Come on, let's bring them all in, see how it all goes. The thing is, they bring in players, and they were bloody last season, to be honest. They were lucky to finish 6th. They were lucky to finish above Manchester United, who was just really poor last season. Loads of injuries out. So did Chelsea, to be honest. But it's incredible the fact that they decided to let Pochettino go. They've got this one wrong. I'm not convinced by Enzo Maresca. I'm not convinced of the style of play. I think those players are not going to be able to do it. I don't think the players that he's got there are not the players that he wants to be there. Got loads of players that need to go. They got rid of, I think it was about 3 players for about 80 odd million, but they've still spent over 100 million on players. Just don't get their business. The other day they have brought in Ken and Drewsbury Hall. Again though, they're bringing in Ken and Drewsbury Hall, but they've got the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Sado, Lavia. How are these players going to fit in? What Enzo Maresca's speeches are going to be 24 hours before the game. Sorry, some players are going to have to stay at home. Some players are going to be with me. Those players are not going to be happy at home. They'll want to piss off by January. They're not being played. The depth that they've got in their team, no need, because no other team doesn't have that. These lots should be investigated with all these signings as well. Got 9 goalkeepers, not necessary, and they're trying to offload players as well. It's a joke, to be honest, and they've also brought in, to go and get a new centre-back with Thiago Silva going, brought in Tosin Adebayo, they've also brought in Pedro Neto from Wolves, and again, they've got a heap of wingers. They've got Neto, Sterling, Madueke, and Cuckoo. How are you going to fit all these players in? And then you're trying to negotiate for bloody João Felix as well. How's he going to fit in? I just don't get it. This is why Chelsea are going to finish 9th. Also, they've got bloody Conference League as well. Coming out from missing out on a Europe place, I think it's going to be Newcastle. Sorry, Newcastle fans. I think Newcastle, okay season, but I think they'll just fall short of Europe. Really sort of struggled last season when they had loads of injuries. Couldn't really keep their squad fit. Obviously, they've got Fabian Schär out, and they've also got Seb Botman with long-term injuries. They've had to go in the dip in the market. They've had to go and buy Lloyd Kelly as well. Got William Osler as well, if that's how you say his name. Had to bring in another young striker from Sheffield United because they know they can't rely on Callum Wilson because he gets his fair share of injuries. But Alexander Isaac, he gets his fair share of injuries as well. Need a fit squad for next season if they really want to push on for Europe for next season. Obviously, they've got Lewis Hall on a permanent as well, and 2 new goalkeepers as well. Again, though, convinced by the signings that they've got. Obviously, the owners have gone and want to go into Pasha's name. 2 goalkeepers, what's that all about? Got rid of one. Why do you want another 2? Just don't get that as well. Don't understand some of these teams' strategies in the transfer market, what they're going for at the end of the day. Going 7th, I've gone for Aston Villa. Now, I think this will be a minor drop-off for Aston Villa next season because I think they'll have Champions League for next season. It'll be one of them where Newcastle last season trying to battle with Premier League and the Champions League. Obviously, well done to Aston Villa getting Champions League first time in 41 or 43 years. It's one of them anyway. Well done to them. Big achievement. They got top 4 last season. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. They've got a fantastic manager in Emery. When he tactically needed to change it, he changed it and he got it right. I think there'll be just a little bit of a drop-off from Aston Villa. I think having Champions League could be a distraction. They need to have that squad depth. They need to try and keep Johan Duran, and they lost Musa Diaby. They lost to Al Ittihad, which is very surprising that you want to try and keep hold of him as well. Maybe for squad depth, and now they've let him go. Yeah, bit of a strange one. I would have kept hold of him because you need a big squad for next season. Bit of a weird one. Aston Villa, they've brought in the likes of Ross Barkley, Amadou Onana, and Matson as well, and they've brought in 5 other players as well. They've done okay, Aston Villa. I think there'll be a little bit of a minor drop-off from them this season. Coming 6th, I've gone with West Ham. I think West Ham, obviously everyone's going to say that they've won the transfer window, but I think this is going to need time. See, with a new manager coming in as well, with David Moyes leaving and Julian Lopetegui coming in. Julian Lopetegui needs to win over the fans, and he needs to do it quickly. He's been at some top teams before. He's been at Real Madrid, Sevilla, Spain, and now he needs to do it at West Ham. Just needs a little bit of time. Not going to take overnight. He'll need time. If it doesn't kick off well at the beginning of the season, he's going to need time to tune his players, to get a rhythm in the players, and to get going into the season as well. But they've done well. They've dipped into the window. They needed to. Brought in the likes of Nicholas Füllkrug, great striker, was involved in the Euros as well. Scored 2 goals, was involved a lot in the goals as well. Max Kilman from Wolves, Somerville from Leeds, Jean-Claude Todibo, who I would have liked at Manchester United. They've got Wan-Bissaka as well. And they've got Guido Rodriguez, a new defensive midfielder. Done well, West Ham. Without a doubt, for sure. They just need time, let them settle in, get the rhythm out of the players, they all come together, and I think they'll do well. And they really need to push on they really need Europe for the following season, for sure. Coming 5th, I think this is controversial. I've gone with Liverpool. Liverpool got a new manager, Arne Slot. Jurgen Klopp's gone now. Reign with Jurgen Klopp's finished. Now it's Arne Slot in charge. Arne Slot, different style of play. Possession-based football with a high intensity. They're playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Completely different. Liverpool, maybe they could do well. They've not signed anyone. They really want a new number 6. Players keep in Liverpool as well, finding it hard to bring somebody in. I think Liverpool are just no money to spend I think FFG have just generally got no money to spend. I don't know if it's because of that or if they're just thinking, let's wait and see what Arne Slot can do and then maybe we have to dip in January. This is controversially, and I think Liverpool might finish 5th due to the threat of other teams around them as well. Going into the top 4. 4th for me, I think, is going to be Tottenham. The reason why I've gone with Tottenham is because this is the season where they need to try push on for top 4 now. And there's a couple of reasons why I've gone with Tottenham, because obviously you can see Ange's style of play, an aggressive high line. You see last season when they really got exposed with that high line. I think they can do well. Brought in one is Dominic Solanke. They needed a new striker. And the thing is with Tottenham, they didn't really have that perfect striker last year. They had more quality to them. They struggled at the back end of last season. But I think Dominic Solanke, very good season at Bournemouth. He scored 20 goals last season, I think, or 19, 20 goals. I think they'll really want to push. You've got the likes of Madison popping up in behind. Got Kulusevski to one side, Son to the other side. Players can stay fit. I think they can get 4th. We've also brought in the likes of Archie Gray as well, Europa League as well, and I think this is the season where Tottenham, to break into the top 4 now, try and get Champions League for the following season as well. Coming 3rd, I've gone with Manchester United. Now, obviously, yes, I would have said Manchester United. Obviously, yes, I did say for Manchester United to come 3rd. I got that drastically wrong. Obviously, we finished 8th last season, but this is a new season now. Got some new players in the transfer window. We need to press the reset button and just go again this season. We just need to have a better season. High expectations for Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag needs to get top 4. Yet again, we need a trophy, maybe 2 trophies at least as well for the upcoming season as well. So I think we need to have a good season, and I think we will. I think with the signings that we've brought in, I'm convinced that we'll have a good season. I'm quite optimistic that we can have a good season. If we can keep players fit, have a problem that we can't keep players fit because obviously they're playing Erik Ten Hag's training regime. These players keep getting injured. We need to try and keep players fit next season. If they can stay fit, optimistic of the head of this season as well in the light of Yanni Euro, a brilliant addition. Obviously, really struggled defensively last year, I thought. Conceding over 50 goals last year with all the other competitions involved. It was more. Joshua Zirkzee as well, a 9.5, a bit of a 10 player as well. With Højlund out as well for 6 weeks, that's not ideal as well. But obviously, we've also brought in Matthijs de Ligt. I think this is going to be a great signing for Manchester United. De Ligt's a leader, very vocal, very commanding, very aggressive as well. I'm looking forward to see de Ligt in action. We've also brought in Missouri as well. Missouri, not seen much of Missouri, but I remember him from last season then when we played Bayern Munich in the Champions League. United really struggled to sort of go down that right-hand side of Bayern Munich last year. Missouri, a very style player, can play at right back or left back. So we can definitely have a good season. We just need all players fit, optimistic ahead of the new season. This is the top 2 now. Coming 2nd, I've gone with Arsenal. Now, the reason why I've gone with Arsenal is because there's a couple of reasons. Yet again, the reason why I don't think they'll win the league. I think, one, because I just don't think they've still yet again got that experience. I think it's still going to take them maybe 1 or 2 years to push on, go and win the league as well. I think you have to maybe wait until Pep Guardiola does it a day as well. Man City as well, so got that winning mentality yet to go and win the league. See, we saw Rice do fantastically well in his first season at Arsenal. He transformed their midfield. Brilliant job as well. Arsenal have signed Ricardo Calafiori. Brilliant signing, brilliant addition to them. They want to strengthen their defence. Again, he's one of them. Very versatile player, can play right back, left back, centre back, and that's what the teams do, like Arsenal. It's competition for places. Again, obviously with Yuri and Timber into the squad as well, it just is him in as well. But I think Arsenal, to have a good all season, they need to try and push City to the league yet again. Arsenal just come up short yet again in the league. To start winning trophies though, and I think if they don't start winning trophies thick and fast, to pull Mikel Arteta in for a meeting, because thinking, Jesus, Manchester United are winning more trophies than us now. Got a man that's come in and won them 2 trophies, and we've got a man that's going into his 5th season yet not won a trophy with this team yet. They need to start winning trophies now, Arsenal. They need to win a trophy. They need to win something. If they don't win something, I'll be starting to get a little bit worried about Mikel Arteta. One of those managers where not a winner. Not been at this competitive bit before. It's new for him. Still learning. I think all the Arsenal players are still learning. They need to start winning trophies, and they need to do it thick and fast as well. Coming first, and it's only but them anyway, I've gone with Man City. Yet again, I think Man City are going to win the league without a doubt. I think Man City are the team to do it yet again. Obviously, the first team to win the league 4 times in a row. People will be saying someone's got to stop them now to do it 5 times in a row. I hope Arsenal do it. I hope Arsenal do the league and stop Man City of doing the league. It's just one of them where Pep Guardiola's the man, the manager where he's always going to keep making records and they're always going to keep doing it City until Guardiola just calls it a day eventually. To be honest, I think Pep Guardiola's the man. I need to get off to a good start against Chelsea in the first game on Sunday. Again, I think they need to try keep hold of Kevin De Bruyne. He needs to have an injury-free season. Haaland will be bagging in the goals. They need Jack Grealish to get back to his best as well. Foden popping up as well. I think they can have a really good season, Man City. Maybe toughest season yet to face. It's going to be a good season. It's going to be an interesting season. We'll see with Julian Alvarez now gone to Atletico Madrid. They need to dip into the market now and go and replace him. They need to go and replace him before the window ends as well and slams shut. Brought in new winger. Savinho came from South America. They are trying to strengthen depth with the wingers. Obviously they need competition for places. City going to win the league. Let's see how the season goes. Maybe people out there that are backing Arsenal to do the league. But let's see how the season pans out. I wish all the teams good luck over the head of the new season. We need to have a big season personally. Top 4 is what we need. 2 trophies as well. Let's get it in the bag now. Have a big season ahead of us now as well. Go and prove our doubters wrong. If you guys are enjoying the video, be sure to give a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video next couple of days. And peace.